Welcome to USA Old Coins, your ultimate destination for exploring the fascinating world of American coins. Today, we're diving into the iconic Washington quarter dollars, celebrating every state in the Union. From the stunning designs that capture each state's unique history to the stories behind these collectible treasures, this video will take you on a journey across the United States, one quarter at a time. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just curious about the stories these coins tell, stay tuned, because each quarter has a tale worth discovering. Top 1. The story of the United States Washington quarter dollar featuring Maya Angelou begins long before the year 2022 ever arrived, because her legacy is not something that suddenly emerged one morning in American history. It is a legacy built from courage, from words, from the rhythm of a voice that could silence a room and inspire the world. And when the United States Mint chose to immortalize her on a quarter dollar, the nation was not just celebrating a writer or a civil rights activist. It was honoring a force of nature whose story continues to rise, just like the imagery on this remarkable coin. When you hold the Maya Angelou 2022 P quarter in your hand, you are holding much more than 5.67 grams of copper and nickel. You are holding a symbol carved from history, shaped by struggle, uplifted by resilience, and set in motion by a woman who taught generations how to rise above challenges. And that, right from the beginning, is what makes this coin feel different, even before collectors discovered its true rarity and value. The front, or obverse, of the coin may carry the familiar portrait of George Washington, but this time the portrait carries a subtle transformation, one that echoes the new era ushered in by the American Women Quarters program. His profile is sharper, more defined, and carries a sense of dignity that perfectly balances the strong legacy of the woman featured on the reverse. The year 2022 and the mint mark P quietly tell their story too, whispering to collectors that this coin's birthplace was the Philadelphia Mint, one of the busiest and most storied mints in American history, but it is the reverse, the side where Maya Angelou spreads her arms beneath a radiant sun, that truly captures the soul of this coin. The design does not simply show her standing, it shows her rising. The artwork evokes lines from her iconic poem, a poem known and recited across the world, a poem that has become a voice for the unheard, the bold, and the brave. The sun rays behind her stretch outward like the reach of her influence, touching hearts across nations, cultures, and generations. Collectors instantly recognized how special this design was. It wasn't just artistic, it was emotional. Every line, every sunbeam, every gesture feels like a movement. It is as if the coin is alive with energy, telling you that this is not a simple piece of currency but a tribute that belongs in the hands of someone who understands its story. Once the coin entered circulation, something magical began to happen. People who rarely cared about coins suddenly paused and looked closer. Teachers, readers, students, artists, activists, and coin hunters all joined in the excitement. The Maya Angelou quarter became an instant topic of conversation, what it looked like, what it meant, and why it felt so different from other modern U.S. quarters, and soon after, collectors began searching for certain special pieces. Quarters struck with the perfect pressure, perfect alignment, perfect sheen. They wanted the coins that left the mint with the cleanest details, the sharpest rays, the most flawless fields. The 2022 P mint mark in particular became highly desirable because subtle striking differences set it apart from coins minted elsewhere. Philadelphia struck quarters often show distinctive traits that experienced collectors can spot immediately, such as variations in relief and metal flow that capture more texture in Maya's clothing and wings. These details, when preserved in exceptional condition, turned ordinary quarters into treasures worth hunting through roll after roll to uncover. And those who managed to find an untouched, perfectly preserved example, one without scratches, without blemishes, without marks from machines or pockets or coin jars, found themselves holding something far more valuable than expected. This coin in its finest grade quickly began attracting collectors from around the world, each wanting to secure a piece of American history that honored a woman who changed the world with her voice. But collectors do not chase this coin only for its financial value. They chase it for the story behind it. They chase it because Maya Angelou's legacy was never small. Her life was filled with chapters of struggle transformed into triumph, silence transformed into poetry, and obstacles transformed into opportunities. The coin reminds people that they too can rise, no matter the odds. The Maya Angelou quarter is also a symbol of a cultural shift in American coinage. For decades, coins featured presidents, historical buildings, and iconic national symbols. But the American Women Quarters program opened the door to honoring women whose contributions shaped the United States in deeper, more powerful ways. And Maya Angelou, poet, author, dancer, actor, activist, and timeless icon, was the perfect person to lead that change. Every element of the coin's reverse design is intentional. The upward motion of her arms, the extended wings behind her, the powerful sunbeams, the birds in motion, all of it symbolizes liberty, creativity, and the unstoppable will to rise. Even the spacing of the letters in her name forms a sense of movement, as though her influence flows across the surface of the coin. Collectors appreciate how well the details hold up under magnification. The feathers, the folds of her dress, and even her silhouette exhibit a level of care that modern engraving rarely achieves with such artistry. The Philadelphia Mint delivered a coin that feels sculptural, almost like a miniature tribute cast in metal for future generations. But beyond artistry, condition matters. The highest graded Maya Angelou 2022 P quarters, the ones graded by professional services at the top of the scale, are the ones that transformed from modern circulation pieces into valuable collectibles. These coins, flawless in appearance, became the stars of auctions and private sales, impressing both seasoned collectors and newcomers. There are also rare error varieties that add even more excitement to this coin. Some errors involve off-center strikes, die chips around the wings or rays, extra metal near the lettering, or doubled features that give the design a unique appearance. These errors turn already desirable coins into extraordinary finds. A dramatic error can transform a simple quarter into a rare prize worth hundreds or even thousands. The thrill of searching for one of these rare gems makes the Maya Angelou quarter especially exciting for YouTube coin collectors, treasure hunters, and everyday viewers. The story behind the coin fuels anticipation, and the potential value fuels determination. People across the country still sort through their change today, hoping to spot one of these elusive high-grade or error varieties, and that is part of the charm, the idea that history, poetry, and fortune could appear right in the palm of your hand. A coin from pocket change, a coin from a grocery store, a coin from a handful of quarters at the gas station could turn out to be the kind of rare piece collectors dream about. As more people learn the story behind the coin, its popularity continues to grow. Viewers love hearing about everything from the symbolism in the artwork to the grading process that determines its value. They enjoy learning how a simple quarter can represent hope, empowerment, and artistry all at once. And with every new discovery, the legend of this coin becomes even stronger. The Maya Angelou 2022 P quarter is now considered a must-have for anyone building a modern U.S. coin collection. It is a coin that transcends ordinary numismatics. It represents culture, history, and the power of one extraordinary woman whose words changed lives long before her likeness ever appeared on currency. Many collectors also treasure this coin because it marks a turning point in American mint history, a time when the stories of women were finally given a place on circulating currency, where millions could see them, hold them, and remember their contributions every day. And for younger collectors just starting their coin journey, the Maya Angelou quarter often becomes one of their very first discoveries. Teachers use it to inspire students. Parents use it to tell stories of courage. Collectors agree that high-grade examples of the Maya Angelou 2022 P quarter will remain in demand for decades. The combination of historical importance, stunning design, and low survival rates in perfect condition gives this coin long-term potential that few modern quarters possess. And so, as we reach the end of this story, the message behind this coin becomes clear. It is a celebration of strength. A celebration of voice. A celebration of one woman's ability to rise again and again despite every obstacle. It is a reminder that sometimes the most valuable treasures are not found in gold or silver but in the stories of those who shaped the world. And now, as promised, we come to the value of this remarkable treasure. In top condition, the rarest examples of the United States of America Washington quarter dollar Maya Angelou 2022 P have been known to reach the impressive value of $17,000. And remember to comment about your own coins so our channel can provide information about them. And make sure you subscribe to the channel, comment below, and like the video so you never miss another story-filled adventure into the world of rare and valuable coins. Top 2. The story of the United States of America Washington Quarter Dollar Dr. Sally Ride 2022p begins with a sense of exploration unlike any other, because this coin honors a woman whose life was defined by courage, discovery, and the pursuit of knowledge far beyond the boundaries of Earth itself. When the United States Mint introduced this coin in the American Women Quarters program, it was not simply releasing another circulating quarter. It was paying tribute to a pioneer who became a symbol of possibility for generations around the world. When you first take this coin into your hand, you immediately feel the weight of history carried within its metal. Not just the history of the United States Mint, but the incredible history of the first American woman to travel into space, a woman whose bravery continues to inspire children and adults who look up at the night sky and dream of going farther than anyone has ever been before. This coin serves as a reminder that even the stars can be reached through determination and brilliance. The obverse, with its newly styled portrait of George Washington, offers a fresh and distinguished appearance that marks the beginning of a new era for U.S. coinage. The Philadelphia Mint's P Mintmark quietly tells you where this remarkable piece of American heritage was born. Every detail on Washington's profile creates a sense of powerful tradition, a perfect counterbalance to the groundbreaking legacy of Dr. Sally Ride celebrated on the reverse, and when you turn the coin over, the reverse reveals the breathtaking design dedicated to Dr. Sally Ride. You see her standing beside a window representing the space shuttle's viewing portal, and through that symbolic window, the Earth is illuminated below her. It is a design that captures her curiosity, her intelligence, her sense of wonder, and her lifelong commitment to education and science. It is not just a coin design, it is a window into the legacy of a woman who saw Earth from a perspective few humans have ever experienced. The designer and engraver crafted this tribute with elegant precision, making sure that Dr. Ride's expression captures both humility and courage. Each line in the artwork reflects a moment in her life: the intense training, the launch into space, the view of Earth, the science experiments, and the journey that made her a global icon. Looking at the coin, you can almost imagine her floating weightlessly aboard the Space Shuttle Challenger, gazing down at the world she helped inspire. Collectors immediately recognized the significance of this coin when it was released. Dr. Sally Ride's story resonates deeply with people who value education, exploration, and advancement. As the first American woman in space, she represents an important turning point in American history. Her presence on a circulating quarter ensures that her accomplishments will be remembered by millions who may never have learned about her otherwise. The 2022p version from the Philadelphia Mint has gained particular attention from collectors looking for high-grade coins and rare errors. Philadelphia strikes are known for producing subtle differences in detail, and on this coin, those differences appear in the sharpness of the earth, the clarity of the facial features, and the crispness of the lettering around the perimeter. Finding a pristine example straight from a fresh mint roll became a small treasure hunt for coin enthusiasts everywhere. Many collectors discovered that the higher-graded examples of this coin, especially those graded by professional certification companies, quickly became desirable among modern coin specialists. The smoother fields, the mirror-like surfaces on some early strikes, and the sharpness of the engraving all helped elevate certain coins to a level of rarity far beyond ordinary pocket change. And then came the discovery of error varieties, which only made the hunt more exciting. Some collectors found coins with die cracks, extra metal on the devices, slight doubling on letters, or uneven strikes that created unusual visual effects. These errors, when combined with the powerful subject of Dr. Sally Ride, made them must-have pieces in modern error collections. A single dramatic error could be worth many times the value of a regular coin. The story behind this quarter extends beyond minting and collecting, though. It also reflects the journey of a woman who began as a student passionate about science and went on to become a physicist, astronaut, professor, and advocate for young learners. Dr. Sally Ride used her platform to encourage girls to pursue careers in mathematics, engineering, and science at a time when these fields were overwhelmingly dominated by men. Her work continues to influence young people through educational programs and organizations she helped create. This coin reminds us of her impact every time we look at it. It is more than metal. It is a message. A message that young minds can reach new heights when they are encouraged to dream big. A message that exploration is not reserved for the few but belongs to anyone who dares to look beyond the horizon. A message that greatness often begins with curiosity. Collectors appreciate how well this coin preserves Dr. Ride's likeness and story in such a small space. Even the earth behind her contains beautifully engraved continents and textures. These details help the coin stand out from other modern releases, making it a beloved addition to American women quarters collections. The artistry and symbolism evoke a sense of motion and discovery, as though the coin itself is orbiting through time. This coin also holds a special place for younger collectors who find the story of Dr. Ride inspiring. It becomes a bridge between history and imagination, drawing new generations into the world of numismatics. Parents and teachers often share these coins with students as a way to spark interest in science and space exploration. And many children who encounter this coin for the first time ask questions about space, rockets, and the night sky, just as Dr. Ride herself once did. As this coin circulated, more and more people realized its long-term potential. The design, the symbolism, and the significance of Dr. Ride's contributions to science and space travel all strengthened its place in collectors' hearts. The fact that only a small percentage of the coins survive in perfect condition adds to its rarity and desirability, especially among serious numismatists. Collectors also value the emotional connection they feel to this coin. For some, it reminds them of the space shuttle era, a time filled with hope and excitement for discovery. For others, it symbolizes a role model who opened doors for countless women in fields once considered unreachable. And for many, it serves as a reminder that the quest for knowledge is endless and beautiful. In the years ahead, experts believe that this quarter will play an important role in modern coin collecting. The combination of Dr. Ride's historic achievements, the coin's artistic excellence, and the growth of the American Women Quarters program make it a key piece for future generations studying the evolution of U.S. currency. Even now, collectors around the world seek the highest-graded specimens for their long-term collections. The Dr. Sally Ride 2022 P quarter will continue to spark conversation, curiosity, and admiration. Whether found in a coin roll or purchased from a collector, it holds a value far beyond its face value. It represents the courage to explore, the bravery to take risks, and the passion to learn about the unknown. And that story will continue inspiring people for generations to come. Many collectors search for this coin with excitement, hoping to find an example untouched by circulation wear, protected from scratches, and preserved with its original mint luster. These flawless examples are the treasures that become the stars of auctions and collections, often bringing far more than expected because of their beauty and rarity. As people learn more about this coin and about Dr. Sally Ride's place in American history, interest in the 2022 P quarter continues to grow. It has become one of the standout pieces in the American Women Quarters program, a program already celebrated for honoring extraordinary individuals whose accomplishments shaped the United States in ways that textbooks alone could never fully capture. This coin is a story in metal, a portrait of courage, and a tribute to someone who helped change the world simply by being willing to follow her dreams. Every collector who holds it becomes part of that story, part of the inspiration, part of the legacy. And each time someone discovers this coin for the first time, they join the ongoing celebration of an American icon who reached the stars. And now, as this long and detailed story reaches its final chapter, we come to the value of this remarkable United States of America Washington quarter dollar Dr. Sally Ride 2022 P. In its highest condition, the most extraordinary examples of this coin have reached the impressive value of $15,000. And remember to comment about your own coins so our channel can provide information about them. And make sure you subscribe to the channel, comment below, and like the video so you never miss another adventure into the world of rare and valuable coins. Top 3. The story of the United States of America Washington quarter 1776 to 1976 begins not in a minting hall, but in the vibrant heartbeat of a nation preparing to celebrate its 200th birthday. The air was alive with anticipation, pride, and reflection as Americans looked back on the long, eventful path that stretched from the signing of the Declaration of Independence to the modern world of the 1970s. When the bicentennial coinage was announced, it was more than a currency release. It was a tribute to the spirit of a country that had weathered wars, inventions, heartbreaks, triumphs, and the unending pursuit of freedom. When the bicentennial quarter entered circulation, millions of Americans held it in their hands and felt not just metal, but meaning. The United States Mint had crafted a design that captured the essence of revolution, independence, and the bravery of those who paved the path toward the future. The Washington Quarter 1776 to 1976 stands apart from ordinary coins because it carries a date unmatched in the rest of the nation's circulating currency. Those double dates represent a story in themselves, a bridge between 2 centuries of struggle and progress. On the obverse of the coin, George Washington's familiar profile remains steadfast, strong, and iconic. But this time, the date beneath him does not reflect a single year. Instead, the bold 1776 to 1976 stamps the coin as a special tribute to the bicentennial. Washington's presence on this celebratory coin is symbolic, for he was the general who led the fight that birthed the United States. His portrait here is not just a design, it is a reminder of the leadership that guided an army of determined individuals toward independence, but it is the reverse of the bicentennial quarter that truly captures the soul of this historic release. The drummer boy, standing proudly with his colonial-style drum and the flowing banner of freedom behind him, became one of the most beloved designs ever placed on a circulating U.S. coin. His determined expression, captured in intricate engraving, reflects the spirit of ordinary people who played extraordinary roles in securing America's independence. The star above him shines like a guiding light, reminding viewers of the nation's early battles and hard-won victories. Collectors instantly connected with the artwork, admiring the craftsmanship and honoring the patriotic message woven into every curve and line. Although millions of bicentennial quarters were minted, not all were created equal. Some were struck on special planchets, some were issued in special sets, some were produced with extreme care, and some left the mint with imperfections that later became prized rarities among collectors. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1776 to 1976 quarter is the variety of striking qualities. The Philadelphia Mint produced its coins without mint marks, a tradition that lasted until the 1980s. Meanwhile, the Denver Mint struck its quarters with the D mint mark, and both mints produced countless examples for circulation. Yet only a tiny percentage survived in absolutely perfect, untouched condition. These pieces, preserved as if frozen in time, became the treasures that collectors would one day chase with excitement, but there were other coins, rarer ones, that did not follow the typical path. Some were struck in silver, part of special mint sets that honored the bicentennial with higher quality strikes and richer luster. These silver bicentennial quarters, with their unique S mint mark from the San Francisco Mint, became highly desirable. Over time, a select few emerged as the finest of the fine, earning the highest grades from professional certification companies and becoming legends among numismatists. In addition to these silver pieces, error coins began appearing in collector circles. Some featured doubled designs, others showed off-center strikes, and still others displayed unusual die cracks or missing elements. A few rare errors involved wrong planchets entirely, quarters struck on dime blanks or incomplete metal rounds. These unusual pieces transformed into rare and valuable finds, especially when combined with the historic bicentennial design. The rarity of high-grade examples and the existence of spectacular error varieties created a vibrant market for bicentennial quarters. But for collectors, the value is not just monetary. It is emotional. These coins connect generations, often passed down from grandparents to parents to children as symbols of patriotism and remembrance. Many people recall saving these coins the moment they first appeared in circulation, knowing instinctively that they were different, special, worth keeping. The bicentennial quarter also became a teaching tool, sparking interest in history and numismatics among millions of young Americans. Teachers used it to explain the Revolutionary War, independence, and the importance of preserving national heritage. Children who received one of these coins often tucked it into a small box, treasuring it as the first coin that ignited their lifelong collecting journey. What makes the story even more compelling is how these coins were released at a time when the country was undergoing cultural transformation. The 1970s were a decade of change, and the bicentennial celebration gave the nation a moment of unity and reflection. The quarter became not just currency, but a symbol of identity, a small but enduring reminder of the 200-year journey that shaped the United States. Collectors today recognize the 1776 to 1976 quarter as one of the most iconic designs ever issued by the United States Mint. While millions exist, only an extremely rare handful have survived in flawless, high-grade condition. These extraordinary pieces rise above ordinary examples, shining with luster, clarity, and precision so perfect that even the smallest detail appears timeless and untouched. Some of these finest specimens have appeared in auctions, stunning collectors with their beauty and rarity. The sharpness of the drummer boy's features, the smoothness of the fields, and the absolute perfection of the strike create a coin so breathtaking that it captivates anyone who sees it. These are the coins that transform from simple change into rare masterpieces. Every bicentennial coin carries a story, but the rarest examples carry the heart of the celebration itself. They represent not only the 200 years that came before them but the centuries that would follow. They preserve the memory of a nation's past and carry the echo of drums that once rallied an army to freedom. Today, collectors continue searching through old jars, rolls of quarters, inherited coin boxes, and forgotten drawers, hoping to discover one of the rare, unbelievable treasures hidden among ordinary coins. The dream of finding that perfect bicentennial quarter keeps the excitement alive for seasoned experts and new collectors alike. The United States of America Washington Quarter 1776 to 1976 remains a timeless piece, a symbol of historic pride, a reminder of the revolutionary spirit, and a beloved collectible that will continue inspiring generations. Its beauty, significance, and rarity make it an essential coin in any collection, whether held for love of history, art, or future value. And now, as we reach the final chapter of this long and detailed story, we reveal the value of the rarest known examples of this extraordinary coin. The finest, most exceptional, top-condition pieces of the United States of America Washington Quarter 1776 to 1976 have sold for the astonishing value of $200,000. And remember to comment about your own coins so our channel can provide information about them, and make sure you subscribe to the channel, comment below, and like the video so you never miss another powerful and story-filled journey into the world of rare and valuable coins. Top 4. The story of the United States of America Washington Quarter Dollar crossing the Delaware 2021 D begins with a moment in American history so powerful that it continues to echo across classrooms, museums, and patriotic celebrations. It is the night George Washington led his determined army across the icy Delaware River during the Revolutionary War, a night when hope stood on the edge of despair, and yet courage carried the soldiers forward. The United States Mint chose to honor this iconic moment with a design that would bring history back to life through metal, art, and memory. When you hold the 2021 D crossing the Delaware Quarter in your hand, you are not simply holding a coin. You are holding a symbol of bravery, a reminder of a battle that helped shape the destiny of a nation. This coin marks a special return to the traditional Washington Quarter design after the America the Beautiful series ended, making 2021 a unique transitional year that collectors pay close attention to. The obverse retains the classic portrait of George Washington, but its details appear freshly striking because of the updated styling used for this special issue. The D mint mark from the Denver Mint sits proudly on the coin, telling collectors exactly where this historical tribute was created. Denver strikes often have their own characteristics, adding subtle differences that collectors love to analyze under magnification, but it is when you flip the coin over that the story truly unfolds. The reverse displays George Washington standing strong at the bow of the boat, his cape flowing in the winter wind, with determination in his posture that reflects the spirit of the young nation. The soldiers around him paddle through the icy river with unwavering focus, and the details of the oars, water, and distressed winter uniforms create a vivid picture of the dangerous crossing that changed the course of history. Collectors instantly fell in love with the artwork because it captures motion, emotion, and a story of courage. The design is bold, dramatic, and filled with life, making it feel less like a coin and more like a historical painting compressed into the size of a quarter. Every line on the engraving carries importance, and every small detail helps tell the story of the daring nighttime mission. The Denver Mint produced millions of these quarters for circulation, but only a tiny fraction emerged in the kind of perfect condition that collectors dream about. Fresh roll gems, untouched examples, and early strikes hold a level of detail that gives the coin a brilliance and sharpness far superior to ordinary pocket change. These high-grade examples became the treasures that collectors chased with dedication. As the coin entered circulation, people across the country began noticing the design and wondering about its story. The crossing the Delaware moment had long been celebrated in textbooks and paintings, but seeing it on a circulating coin brought the story back to life for a new generation. Suddenly, children, teachers, and everyday viewers became curious about why George Washington was standing on a boat in the middle of winter. Collectors quickly discovered that certain varieties and errors made the 2021 D crossing the Delaware Quarter even more exciting. Small die chips around the hat, doubling in the lettering, extra metal on the oars, and striking anomalies turned ordinary coins into valuable finds. Some collectors even uncovered dramatic errors that immediately drew serious attention within the coin community. The artistry on this coin stands out because of the depth and texture of the design. Washington's coat, the folds of the soldier's clothing, the sharp edges of the oars, and the flowing water all combine to create an image rich with dimension. Under magnification, these details transform into a miniature landscape of history frozen in metal. Collectors treasure this coin not just for its value, but because it represents one of the most heroic moments in American history. The crossing the Delaware design symbolizes leadership, sacrifice, resilience, and the willingness to take risks for freedom. It speaks to the soul of the nation and reminds viewers of the extraordinary courage that shaped the United States. Many collectors consider this one of the most memorable modern quarter designs. Its historical importance and artistic beauty make it a standout among recent releases. Even seasoned numismatists praise the engraving for its clarity, storytelling, and emotional impact. It is a coin that demands attention and admiration. For new collectors, the 2021 D quarter often becomes the spark that ignites a passion for numismatics. Its bold design draws people in, and once they learn the story behind it, they begin exploring other coins, historical events, and rare varieties. This single coin has inspired countless people to begin their collecting journey. The Denver minted version is especially popular in the collector community because of its distinct strike characteristics and unique errors that have surfaced over time. Some examples show beautifully sharp details, making them prime candidates for high professional grading scores. These high-grade examples are the ones that bring serious value at auctions and private sales. The 2021 D crossing the Delaware Quarter also carries emotional significance for many Americans. It symbolizes unity, perseverance, and the strength of ordinary people standing together for a greater cause. Washington's leadership on that icy night continues to inspire, and this coin captures that feeling in a way that few modern coins have achieved. Collectors enjoy searching through rolls and bags in hopes of discovering one of the rare flawless examples. The thrill of finding an uncirculated, high-luster specimen keeps the excitement alive, and stories circulate in the community about lucky finds that turned out to be worth far more than expected. The deeper story behind the design makes this coin even more captivating. The real historical crossing took place on Christmas night in 1776, during a brutal winter storm. Washington's army faced exhaustion, hunger, and dwindling morale. Yet Washington refused to give up. He chose to strike back at a critical moment, knowing that the future of the revolution depended on a daring act of bravery. The coin's design captures that decisive moment, freezing it in time for generations to admire. Every time someone looks at the reverse, they are reminded of the courage it takes to fight for freedom when hope seems dim. This storytelling aspect is what gives the coin lasting meaning beyond its collectible value. As more people learn about the history and rarity of this coin, its popularity grows. Collectors around the world seek the highest graded examples and the most unique rare varieties. Whether held for history, beauty, or investment, the Crossing the Delaware Quarter has earned its place as one of the most iconic modern American coins. The United States of America Washington Quarter Dollar Crossing the Delaware 2021D will continue to shine as a symbol of determination, heritage, and national pride. Its artistic excellence, historical importance, and collectible potential ensure that it will remain a standout piece in both new and experienced collections for decades to come. And now, as we reach the end of this detailed and story-filled journey, we arrive at the value of this remarkable coin. The rarest, highest-grade examples of the United States of America Washington Quarter Dollar Crossing the Delaware 2021D have reached the impressive value of $27,000. And remember to comment about your own coins so our channel can provide information about them. And make sure you subscribe to the channel, comment below, and like the video so you never miss another incredible story from the world of rare and valuable coins. Top 5. There are some coins that don't just enter your hand, they enter your imagination, and today's journey begins with one such treasure, the remarkable United States of America Washington Quarter Dollar honoring Eleanor Roosevelt, minted in 2023 at the Philadelphia Mint. As we step into this story, imagine holding a small piece of metal that carries the voice, the courage, and the legacy of one of the most influential women in American history. This coin is more than currency, it is a reminder of the power of compassion and the strength of leadership, all wrapped into a design that collectors around the world deeply admire. As the story unfolds, picture yourself walking into a small antiques shop on a quiet street, not knowing that hidden among the boxes and dusty shelves is a shining quarter that countless collectors are desperately searching for. The clerk hands it to you casually, unaware of its significance, but as the coin catches the light, you instantly feel its pull. This isn't just any quarter, this is a tribute, a modern masterpiece, part of a series honoring great American women, and this particular one celebrates Eleanor Roosevelt, a woman whose impact still shapes society today. When the U.S. Mint decided to honor Eleanor Roosevelt, they knew the challenge ahead. She was not just a historical figure, she was a symbol of justice, equality, and humanitarian dedication. Capturing her spirit in a coin required artistry, precision, and deep respect. And that is exactly what happened. Turning the coin in your hand, the Washington portrait anchors the obverse with the reliability of tradition, but the moment you glance at the reverse, the narrative shifts. Eleanor Roosevelt stands gracefully, captured in a moment of purpose. Her posture, her expression, and the symbolic elements around her transform this quarter into a miniature monument. You feel as though you're not just looking at a coin, you're looking at a moment in history carved into metal. The sculptor behind this masterpiece combined artistic sensitivity with historical depth, ensuring that Roosevelt's personality radiates from the coin's surface. You can almost imagine her standing before you, delivering words of encouragement, speaking with that unforgettable mix of strength and empathy that defined her life's mission. As you trace your fingers along its edges, the story deepens. The 2023 P Mint mark is small, but it announces where this coin was born, the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most respected coin-producing institutions in the world. Every collector knows that some of the most intriguing and valuable modern quarters have emerged from this mint, and the Eleanor Roosevelt edition is no exception. The year 2023 marked a turning point for many collectors. It was the height of excitement around the American Women Quarters program, and the Eleanor Roosevelt quarter quickly became one of the standout pieces. Coin hunters searched rolls, banks, estate sales, and private collections, hoping to catch one in pristine condition. But finding a flawless specimen was far from easy. Most entered circulation and developed scratches, wear, and contact marks. A perfectly preserved example became a treasure. The most dramatic part of this story begins with condition. For modern quarters, value is shaped heavily by state of preservation. And when a 2023 P Eleanor Roosevelt quarter appears with razor-sharp details, mirror-like surfaces, and absolutely no imperfections under magnification, collectors don't just want it, they compete for it fiercely. imagine an auction room buzzing with excitement. The crowd waits. The lights dim slightly. The auctioneer raises a gloved hand and reveals a breathtaking Eleanor Roosevelt quarter sparkling under a spotlight. The room falls silent. Then the bidding war begins. What follows is a whirlwind of raised paddles, quick shouts, and rising numbers. The coin sells for a staggering amount, and suddenly the story of this quarter becomes legendary. But rarity isn't just about price. It's also about meaning. Eleanor Roosevelt spoke for human rights long before it was common, stood fearless in times of uncertainty, and fought tirelessly for the dignity of countless Americans. Holding her quarter feels like holding a piece of that courage. Collectors aren't drawn only by market value, they're drawn by what she represents. When we think of the great leaders who shaped the United States, Eleanor Roosevelt stands at the top. She redefined the role of First Lady, transforming it from ceremonial to impactful. She traveled, investigated injustices, spoke boldly, and wrote with purpose. And now her legacy exists in your hand, in the form of a gleaming quarter that millions admire. The design features her in a reflective posture, symbolizing her dedication to human rights and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, an achievement that still echoes through history. Those who recognize the symbolism immediately understand why this coin has become a modern icon. Collectors often describe the Eleanor Roosevelt quarter as beautifully balanced, historical yet modern, artistic yet simple, elegant yet powerful. Every detail captures her inspiring presence. Even the texture of her clothing, the curvature of her stance, and the careful shadows the engraver carved into the coin make it feel alive. As the camera moves closer, viewers can see the intricate patterns of the metal, the soft reflections across its polished surfaces, and the sense of depth created through expert engraving. This quarter doesn't simply depict Eleanor Roosevelt, it honors her. Above all, this coin reminds us how storytelling through currency continues to evolve. What once was only about national symbols is now also about acknowledging powerful individuals whose influence shaped American culture. Collecting a quarter like this doesn't just add an item to your collection, it adds a story, a conversation piece, a tribute to the values she championed: justice, equality, compassion, and the courage to speak when silence rules. Now imagine how many pockets this coin may have passed through before ending up in your hands. Perhaps it traveled from the mint to a bank, from a bank to a store, from a store to a customer, and then through someone's purse or wallet until it reached a collector who finally recognized its beauty and rarity. Each step of that journey added a new layer to its story. And if you're the one lucky enough to find a flawless example, you hold not just a collectible, you hold a survivor, a rare gem in a sea of coins that have lived much harder lives. Since 2023, stories have been pouring in. Someone found one in a coin roll, someone else uncovered one in an inherited collection, and a few extremely fortunate individuals found near-perfect specimens in places they least expected. These discoveries ignite the passion of new collectors every day. Combine that with the admiration for Eleanor Roosevelt, and you have the perfect recipe for a highly desirable collectible. This is a coin many people want, but few people can find in exceptional state. When collectors display this coin in their collection, it feels special. It stands out. It sparks conversations. Even those who don't collect coins are fascinated by its beauty and historical meaning. The Philadelphia Mint struck millions of these coins, yet among those millions, only a microscopic percentage remain in superb condition worthy of top-tier grading. And that is exactly what elevates their worth dramatically. Auction houses continue to report strong bidding interest, and each time a high-grade specimen appears, it reminds collectors just how elusive perfect coins can be. The Eleanor Roosevelt quarter is already carving its place in the modern era of U.S. numismatics. As the story of this quarter spreads, more people begin searching their change with excitement. And who knows, perhaps your own search will lead you to a special discovery, the kind that fills your collection with pride and your imagination with wonder. The magic of coin collecting lies in its unpredictability. Today's common coin can become tomorrow's treasure. And the 2023 Eleanor Roosevelt quarter has already entered that category of modern coins that can surprise even experienced collectors. So, as we come to the end of this storytelling journey, imagine yourself holding this shining piece of history, letting the engraving catch the light, appreciating not only its value but also the strength of the woman whose legacy it honors. And now the moment collectors always wait for, the value of a rare Eleanor Roosevelt 2023 quarter in exceptional, top-grade condition has reached extraordinary levels at auctions, making it one of the standout treasures of the American Women Quarters series. A truly flawless example of this United States of America Washington quarter dollar honoring Eleanor Roosevelt from 2023 has been valued as high as $22,000 in words. And if you have any coins you want information about, make sure to comment below so the channel can help you identify them. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment, and make sure to like this video as well. Top 6. The story of a small coin begins quietly, often unnoticed, often carried in pockets, wallets, drawers, and jars. But every once in a while, a coin emerges that carries more than metal and mint marks, a coin that whispers history and surprises collectors with extraordinary value. And today, the tale we are sharing revolves around the remarkable United States of America Washington quarter dollar from the year 1971, a coin that has captured the imagination of collectors across the world. You can almost imagine it. An ordinary day, an ordinary moment, and suddenly your fingers close around a quarter that feels anything but ordinary. Its edges are familiar, its weight recognizable, yet something about this particular quarter makes you pause. Maybe it is the shine, maybe the texture, or maybe it is the quiet feeling that this little coin has a much bigger story to tell, a story stretching far beyond the year stamped upon it. The 1971 Washington quarter belongs to a period when America was shifting, growing, reinventing itself. From cultural changes to political transformations, the nation was moving forward with rapid energy, and in that era, millions of quarters were minted. Yet, hidden among those millions, a tiny fraction would one day become treasures in the world of numismatics. That fraction forms the foundation of today's story. As you look closely at the coin, you first notice Washington's familiar profile, carved with classic detail, representing strength, leadership, and a timeless connection to the nation's founding principles. His face, unchanged for decades, symbolizes the foundation upon which this coin's story is built. But flip the coin around, and that is where the narrative begins to deepen. The proud American eagle standing tall on the reverse side brings a sense of authority to the coin. This eagle, with wings spread wide, represents power and freedom, elements that define the era in which the coin was minted. The design itself has become iconic, a familiar emblem that millions recognize instantly. Yet for those who study coins, this design also marks a period of transition before newer artistic changes shaped the future of American coinage. Collectors often talk about how the Washington quarter design feels almost alive, especially on well-preserved coins. In a pristine 1971 specimen, the feathers of the eagle are crisp, the beak sharp, the wings deeply carved with precision. Each detail was struck with intention, creating a coin that carries both artistry and history in its surfaces. If you imagine this coin's journey, you might see it moving through busy hands, perhaps exchanged at a gas station, tucked into a cash register, or handed out as change at a movie theater during the early 70s. It may have traveled across states, rested quietly in pockets during long road trips, or been tossed into a collection jar at home. Each journey added a silent chapter to the coin's story, but amid these countless paths, only a tiny handful escaped wear and damage. Some coins were preserved unintentionally, saved by collectors who appreciated their sharp details, or forgotten in rolls that remained untouched for decades. These preserved specimens are the ones that today shine brighter than ever in the world of rare coin collecting. When coin experts examine a 1971 quarter under magnification, they search for sharp lines, full strikes, smooth fields, and untouched surfaces. Only the rarest, most flawless examples reach the upper grading levels, and this is where the story of value takes an astonishing turn. Because while millions of these quarters exist, perfection is nearly non-existent. Imagine being the one who discovers a perfect or near-perfect example. Perhaps it comes from a coin roll passed down by family. Perhaps it is found during a casual search through old change. Or maybe it emerges when a collector decides to re-examine an old stash of coins that haven't seen the light of day for years. The moment of discovery can feel electric, almost surreal. Many collectors describe that moment as the spark that deepens their love for numismatics. Suddenly, an ordinary piece of metal becomes a treasure, an artifact worth preserving, studying, and cherishing. And the 1971 quarter, with its elegant simplicity and historical charm, becomes a symbol of that discovery. Stories circulate across collector communities about extraordinary finds. Someone searching through a roll of quarters uncovers a specimen with incredible luster. Someone cleaning out a relative's attic finds a sealed bankroll from the early 70s. Someone exchanging change at a store unknowingly receives a coin worth far more than 25 cents. These tales inspire new collectors every day, but what pushes this coin into the spotlight is not just rarity. It is the combination of condition, demand, and the increasing appreciation for classic Washington quarters. As time passes, more collectors enter the hobby, and the finest surviving examples of mid-20th century coins grow increasingly scarce. The 1971 quarter has steadily risen in popularity as collectors seek earlier clad-era coins before modernization changed the look of American currency. There is also something captivating about the subtlety of this coin. It is not flashy. It is not part of a special commemorative release. It carries no unusual symbol or commemorative message. Yet that simplicity is exactly what makes it stand out among collectors who appreciate the quiet elegance of a classic design preserved in its highest form. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these coins, yet the passage of time has narrowed the field dramatically. Circulation has worn most of them down, while mishandling, scratches, and natural aging eliminated chances for high-grade survival. Only a microscopic percentage remain in superb condition. Auction houses have begun to see more excitement around this date, especially when extraordinary specimens appear. Bidders recognize that as time moves forward, surviving high-grade examples from the early clad era will only become more desirable. And the 1971 quarter has already proven its ability to surprise even seasoned collectors. The atmosphere at an auction featuring one of these beautiful coins feels charged. Bright lights shine on the coin, reflecting its luster like a spotlight on a tiny performer ready to take center stage. The auctioneer lifts it gently with gloved fingers. The room quiets. And then the bidding begins, quickly, intensely, passionately. Stories from these auction moments add another layer to the coin's legend. Collectors remember the tension, the rising bids, the collective gasp when the hammer finally falls. They remember the energy that fills the room when a seemingly ordinary coin transforms into a prized treasure in front of everyone's eyes. And the collectors who win these auctions don't simply buy a coin, they buy a story, a moment, a piece of American history captured in metal. They buy the survival of beauty against the odds, the preservation of detail despite time, and the chance to own something incredibly rare from an era that grows more distant each year. Think about the years that have passed since 1971. Generations have come and gone. Technology has transformed. Society has evolved. Yet this small coin has remained, carrying its story forward patiently, waiting for the right collector to appreciate its journey. Perhaps it sat forgotten in a container for decades. Perhaps it was part of a carefully preserved set. Or perhaps it lived quietly in circulation before someone finally recognized its significance. Every path is different, and every survivor tells its own version of history. Collectors love this connection to time. Holding a coin from 1971 is like shaking hands with the past. One small piece of metal becomes a bridge between decades, linking the present to a world long gone yet forever captured in this artifact. And as more collectors turn to modern and mid-century coins, the highest graded examples of coins like this quarter become increasingly harder to locate. Demand rises, excitement grows, and stories of extraordinary values continue to circulate throughout the numismatic world. What makes this coin even more appealing is how deceptively simple it looks. At first glance, no one would suspect it could reach such incredible prices. That is part of its charm. It hides its greatness in plain sight. waiting for the right set of eyes to recognize it, and that brings us to the heart of this story, the moment everyone waits for, the moment when history, condition, rarity, and collector passion combine to reveal the true worth of a magnificent specimen. A flawless United States of America Washington quarter dollar from the year 1971 has reached a value as high as $195,000 in words. And if you have any coins you want information about, make sure to comment so the channel can help you. Remember to subscribe, leave a comment, and don't forget to like this video. Top 7. There is a certain magic in holding a coin that has traveled through decades, passing silently from hand to hand, carrying with it a whisper of history. And among those quiet travelers is the United States of America Washington quarter dollar from the year 1979, a coin that appears ordinary at first glance yet holds a story filled with intrigue, rarity, and surprising value for the collector who discovers its hidden perfection. Imagine the world of the late 1970s, a time filled with cultural change, shifting styles, evolving technology, and a nation preparing to enter a new era. During those days, millions of these quarters left the mint and spread across the country. Most became everyday change, spent without thought, tossed onto countertops, dingled in pockets, and forgotten in drawers. But among those countless coins, only a small handful would one day become treasured pieces in the world of numismatics. Picture yourself stumbling across one of these coins unexpectedly. Perhaps you found it while sorting through an old jar of savings, or maybe it appeared casually in your change after buying something small. You feel its weight, familiar yet somehow more intriguing than the average quarter. There's something about its surface, its shine, its tone that captures your attention before you even realize why. On the front side, the portrait of George Washington reflects a confident expression, a design well known to generations of Americans. The carving of his hair, the curve of his collar, and the thoughtful gaze all appear frozen in time. This portrait has marked countless quarters, yet some years stand out more than others, and 1979 is one of those years that collectors have grown increasingly fascinated by as time passes. Turning the coin over, the great eagle spreads its wings across the reverse side, a powerful symbol of strength, freedom, and national pride. Its feathers stretch outward with artistic detail that remains remarkably striking when preserved in high-grade condition. In a well-preserved specimen from this year, every line appears bold, every curve smooth, and every shadow intentional. If you imagine this quarter's journey through time, you can picture it sitting in a cash register at a diner, passing through a toll booth on a snowy morning, or being handed to a child who doesn't yet realize the history they hold. Some coins travel thousands of miles before they are discovered by someone who recognizes their potential. Others spend years forgotten in a drawer before their story is finally appreciated. Most quarters from this year show clear signs of circulation. Their surfaces tell the story of scratches, nicks, and small clashes with other coins. But the rare coins that survived untouched, the ones that escaped the fate of wear and tear, are the coins that become the focus of collectors and auctions. These pristine examples are the ones that spark excitement and curiosity across the coin community. Collectors carefully study each detail under magnification, analyzing the strike, the clarity of the minting, the luster that dances across the surface. When they find a flawless example, it becomes an object of admiration, a rare gem hidden among millions. Coins like these are like time capsules, perfect snapshots of the moment they were minted. The late 70s marked a period when minting quality varied greatly, and not every coin was struck sharply. So a perfectly struck 1979 quarter is already something uncommon. Add exceptional condition, and it becomes even more special. When a coin displays the bright, untouched shine that experts describe as full luster, collectors know they are looking at something extraordinary. Imagine the thrill of being the person who finds such a coin. Maybe it comes from a collection inherited from a relative who kept coins for reasons unknown, or maybe it was saved by accident, tucked into a roll that was never opened. That moment of recognition, the moment when you realize the humble quarter you hold might be worth far more than face value, is a moment collectors never forget. As the years pass, these untouched examples continue to disappear. Some are mishandled, others are lost, and many remain hidden in places no one would think to look. That shrinking number of surviving high-quality coins only makes the remaining ones more desirable. collectors cherish them, protect them, and treat them as treasures from another era. Auction stories involving this year's quarter have grown more exciting over time. When an exceptional specimen appears, auction houses' no interest will surge. Bidders from around the country compete fiercely, recognizing the value of owning one of the finest surviving examples of this classic design. The atmosphere becomes electric as the bids rise, reflecting both passion and appreciation for a truly special coin. A coin like this represents more than metal. It represents a moment in history. It represents the craftsmanship of minting. It represents the passage of time. It represents the thrill of discovery that keeps coin collectors searching through countless rolls and jars of change, hoping for that one extraordinary find. Collectors often talk about how these coins connect them to the past. Holding a quarter from 1979 is like holding a small piece of the world as it was back then. The economy was changing, culture was shifting, and Americans were preparing for the decade ahead. This little coin lived through all of it quietly, preserved through the years until someone looked closely enough to appreciate it. There's something comforting about knowing that such treasures still exist today, coins waiting to be discovered, waiting to surprise someone who least expects it. While many modern coins are produced in pristine condition, older coins that have survived untouched feel almost miraculous. Their rarity grows each year, and their stories become richer. As more collectors begin searching for earlier clad-era coins, interest in high-grade examples from the 70s has grown dramatically. People are beginning to realize that the classic Washington quarter design is a symbol of American coinage history. These coins are no longer just everyday change. They are artifacts worthy of admiration. The story of the 1979 quarter is not about a commemorative design or a special mint event. It is about the surprising value hidden in what seems ordinary. It is about discovering greatness in simplicity. It is about holding something familiar, only to realize it carries a far greater importance than expected. Every time a new collector learns about the potential of this coin, the excitement spreads. People start checking their change more carefully, searching through old rolls, revisiting collections that have been untouched for years. Hope grows with every search, because the possibility of finding a rare gem still exists, and even though millions were minted, only a microscopic fraction survive in the perfect condition that drives collectors into bidding battles. Those rare survivors are proof that treasures can hide in plain sight, waiting patiently for someone with curiosity and attention to detail. The story of this coin continues to evolve with each new discovery and each auction result. Its legacy grows as collectors share their finds, discuss its history, and appreciate its beauty. This once ordinary piece of currency has become a symbol of unexpected value and timeless elegance. So, as this journey through the story of the 1979 Washington quarter reaches its final moment, imagine holding this shining piece of history in your hand, imagining where it has been, what it has witnessed, and how it has survived so many years in such remarkable condition. And now we reach the part every collector waits for, the part where rarity and condition meet to reveal the extraordinary worth of the finest known examples of this coin. A flawless United States of America Washington quarter dollar from the year 1979 has been valued as high as $155,000 in words. And if you have any coins you want information about, make sure to comment so the channel can help you. Remember to subscribe, leave a comment, and be sure to like this video as well. Top 8. The story of the United States of America Washington quarter dollar from 1981 begins quietly, in the hands of ordinary Americans, traveling silently from wallets, cash registers, and pockets across the nation. At first glance, it looks like any other quarter, yet among collectors, it is a coin that has grown into a legend due to its rarity and the exceptional condition of certain specimens that have survived the passage of time. Imagine a moment decades ago, when a shiny new quarter emerges from a bank teller's hand and lands in the palm of a child, a cashier, or perhaps a parent saving coins in a jar. At that moment, no one could have imagined that this everyday piece of currency would one day become a prized collectible, sought after by numismatists who understand the subtle brilliance of an untouched coin. The obverse carries the familiar image of George Washington, his steady gaze a symbol of strength and leadership. The portrait, unchanged through generations of quarters, represents the continuity of American coinage and the respect given to the nation's first president. In a high-grade coin, every detail of his hair, facial features, and collar remain crisp and distinct, preserved as though frozen in time. Turning the coin over, the reverse features the American eagle with outstretched wings, a design emblematic of the nation's ideals of freedom, power, and resilience. The details of the feathers, the claws gripping arrows, and the strength of the bird's stance create an image that resonates with collectors who appreciate both the artistry and symbolism of the design. The 1981 Washington Quarter was minted in large quantities for circulation, yet over time, most of these coins were spent, handled, and worn. Ordinary quarters experienced scratches, dings, and dulling of the metal, making the survival of flawless specimens incredibly rare. It is within these few perfect coins that numismatic excitement grows. Collectors know that the magic of a coin lies not only in its history but in its condition. A coin from 1981 that has been preserved with complete luster, sharp details, and no blemishes is immediately recognized as extraordinary. These coins are often found in rolls that were never opened, or in collections that were carefully stored for decades. Imagine the thrill of discovering such a coin. Perhaps it is found while sorting through an old jar of coins inherited from a relative, or tucked away in a drawer of forgotten treasures. The moment of recognition is unforgettable. The realization that something seemingly ordinary carries immense potential and historical significance. The journey of a single coin from 1981 often tells a story of time, preservation, and luck. It may have traveled across states in everyday transactions or remained hidden from circulation, quietly maintaining its original brilliance. Each journey adds depth to its character and value. When collectors examine these coins under magnification, they focus on the smallest details: the sharpness of the eagle's feathers, the clarity of Washington's profile, the absence of scratches or wear marks. Only those coins that pass the strictest scrutiny are considered true high-grade specimens worthy of top-level certification. Auction stories involving the 1981 quarter have become legendary. When a pristine example appears, excitement surges as collectors from around the country compete for the chance to own one of the finest surviving pieces of this classic design. The anticipation, the bids, and the final sale reflect both historical importance and rarity. Collectors are not merely interested in the coin for its financial value, they are drawn by the connection to history. Holding a Washington quarter from 1981 is like holding a piece of the early 80s, a tangible link to a world decades past, a reminder of a time when life moved at a different pace and coins carried both utility and artistry. The beauty of this coin is subtle but profound. It does not rely on commemorative markings or special designs to captivate the collector's eye. Its elegance lies in the familiar, enduring design of George Washington and the eagle, perfectly preserved in select examples that defy the wear of decades. Collectors often describe a pristine 1981 quarter as almost miraculous. The odds of survival in such flawless condition are exceedingly low, making each discovery a cause for excitement and celebration within the numismatic community. These coins are not only valuable, they are treasures that inspire passion and admiration. As the years pass, the supply of untouched quarters continues to dwindle. Coins that have remained pristine are often preserved in protective holders, carefully catalogued and sometimes displayed as highlights of a collection. The scarcity of such coins only enhances their appeal and market value. Each coin tells a story beyond its date and design. It carries the silent history of those who used it, the journeys it undertook in pockets and registers, and the hands that eventually preserved it for the next generation. In that sense, the 1981 quarter is more than a coin, it is a witness to time. Collectors are drawn to the mystery of finding high-grade examples. The process of searching through rolls, collections, and inheritances carries the excitement of discovery. Each coin has the potential to surprise, reminding collectors why the hobby remains endlessly engaging and rewarding. The appeal of this coin also lies in its connection to a transitional period in American minting. The early 80s marked changes in materials, techniques, and designs, and the Washington quarter remained a constant amidst this evolving landscape. That continuity, combined with rarity, makes the coin highly desirable. Auction rooms have witnessed intense bidding for exceptional specimens. The atmosphere is charged with anticipation as the coin is displayed under light to reveal every detail. Collectors hold their breath, recognizing that such a coin is not only rare but a significant piece of American numismatic history. The 1981 quarter reminds collectors that even ordinary coins can hold extraordinary potential. While millions were minted, the survival of perfect, uncirculated examples is exceedingly uncommon, making those coins highly sought after and treasured for generations. Collectors often share stories of unexpected finds. Someone discovers a high-grade coin in a bankroll, another inherited it from a relative who had no idea of its potential, and yet another finds one tucked away in old savings jars. These stories fuel the fascination with this coin and inspire continued searches. The journey of this coin through decades reflects both history and human experience. It has been part of everyday life and yet has survived to become a symbol of rarity, preservation, and the joy of discovery. Each well-preserved coin is a reminder of what can endure when treated with care and appreciation. The artistry of the Washington portrait and the eagle design continues to resonate with collectors. Each curve, line, and detail is carefully scrutinized and admired, particularly on high-grade examples that retain their original brilliance and sharpness. Collectors often compare notes and share images of these exceptional coins, analyzing minute details that distinguish a merely good specimen from an extraordinary one. Those subtle differences can dramatically affect value and desirability within the numismatic community. The coin story also serves as a gateway for new collectors, who are drawn to the challenge of finding rare examples and the thrill of discovering coins that hold both history and potential value. The 1981 quarter provides an accessible yet exciting starting point for anyone entering the hobby. As awareness grows, so does the appreciation for the coin. Its historical significance, condition rarity, and classic design combine to make it a centerpiece of any modern collection. Collectors take pride in owning a coin that embodies decades of history while remaining in exceptional condition. Even decades after it first entered circulation, the 1981 quarter continues to inspire fascination. Its journey, preservation, and artistic quality all contribute to its status as one of the more remarkable quarters of the era. And now, as we reach the final chapter of this long and detailed journey, we reveal the value of this extraordinary coin. A flawless United States of America Washington quarter dollar from 1981 has been valued as high as $145,000 in words. And if you have any coins you want information about, make sure to comment below so the channel can help you. Remember to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and don't forget to like this video. Top 9. The story of the United States of America Washington quarter dollar from 1983 begins in the quiet moments of everyday life, in pockets, cash registers, and coin jars, moving silently from hand to hand. At first glance, it seems like an ordinary quarter, yet collectors know that hidden among the millions minted are rare specimens that defy time and wear, turning a humble coin into an extraordinary treasure. Imagine a coin emerging from a bank teller's hand, bright and new, landing in the palm of a child, a cashier, or perhaps a parent saving coins without thinking of their future significance. At that moment, no one could have imagined that this coin would one day become a centerpiece of collector fascination, sought after for its rarity and pristine condition. On the obverse, the familiar image of George Washington gazes forward, embodying leadership, dignity, and the continuity of American coinage. Every detail of his hair, facial features, and clothing is rendered with care, yet only the highest grade specimens preserve these features without any sign of wear. In such coins, the design appears almost as though frozen in time, perfect and untouched. Flipping the coin to the reverse, the American eagle spreads its wings with authority and power. Its feathers, the talons clutching arrows, and the sense of motion in its pose create an image that is both iconic and captivating. In coins that have survived uncirculated, the eagle's details are sharp and vivid, making the coin a visual treasure for collectors. The 1983 quarter was produced in large quantities, but the majority entered circulation and suffered the normal wear of everyday use. Scratches, dings, and contact with other coins left most examples far from perfect. Only a small fraction emerged with the brilliance, luster, and full details that collectors prize above all else. Collectors know that condition is everything when it comes to modern quarters. A coin from this year that remains untouched, preserving its original luster and sharpness, becomes a rare gem. Often, such coins are found in rolls that were never opened, in collections carefully stored, or sometimes in forgotten pockets or drawers that protected them from the wear of decades. Imagine the thrill of discovering such a coin. Perhaps it emerges from a long-forgotten jar of savings or is inherited from a relative who did not realize its significance. The instant a collector recognizes the rarity of a pristine 1983 quarter, excitement fills the air. It is a coin that has survived time with elegance, and in that moment, its story becomes personal. The journey of this quarter through decades is remarkable. It may have traveled thousands of miles, passed through countless hands, yet somehow avoided the scratches, nicks, and dents that diminish most coins. That quiet resilience is part of what makes the surviving examples so extraordinary and highly sought after. Experts examining the coin under magnification look for crisp strikes, flawless surfaces, and full details in both Washington's portrait and the eagle on the reverse. Coins that meet these exacting standards are often graded at the highest levels, and it is these coins that collectors pursue with passion. Auction stories about the 1983 quarter illustrate the excitement it generates. When a flawless specimen appears, collectors from across the country bid enthusiastically. The room fills with anticipation, and the smallest details of the coin are studied intensely. The final hammer price reflects both the coin's rarity and its appeal as a preserved piece of history. Collectors appreciate this quarter not only for its value but for the connection it provides to the early 80s, a time of cultural shifts, technological changes, and evolving numismatic practices. Holding one of these coins is like holding a piece of that era, a tangible reminder of the past preserved in metal. The beauty of this coin lies in its simplicity. It is not commemorative, nor does it carry a special design. Its allure comes from the combination of classic design, exceptional condition, and historical continuity. The Washington quarter remains one of the most recognizable and beloved coins in American numismatics, and the 1983 issue is a shining example of that legacy. Collectors often describe the thrill of discovering a high-grade example as almost magical. The odds of survival in uncirculated condition are low, and finding a coin that has escaped the wear of decades is a moment of triumph. Such coins are treasured, protected, and often displayed as highlights in collections. Over the years, the supply of pristine 1983 quarters has steadily diminished. Many were spent, lost, or mishandled. Those that survived in perfect condition are incredibly rare, making them more desirable with each passing year. Collectors recognize that as time moves forward, such coins will only grow in significance. The story of this coin is also one of human connection. It has passed through countless hands, witnessed everyday life, and survived long enough to be appreciated for its full historical and aesthetic value. Each surviving specimen is a testament to both the durability of the coin and the foresight of those who preserved it. Collectors study every aspect of the coin, from the crispness of Washington's features to the sharpness of the eagle's wings and talons. Even the smallest details, the texture of feathers, the curve of the eagle's beak, or the line of Washington's hair, carry importance and can dramatically affect the coin's grade and value. Auction experiences highlight the coin's impact. The sight of a flawless 1983 quarter under bright lights generates anticipation and excitement. Collectors watch closely, often holding their breath as bids climb higher and higher. The coin becomes more than metal, it becomes a symbol of patience, preservation, and passion. Even in casual collecting, this coin has a powerful appeal. Searching through old rolls, checking inherited coins, and discovering a high-grade example gives collectors a thrill that transcends the monetary value. It is about connection, history, and the joy of holding something rare and beautiful. The 1983 quarter serves as a reminder that even common coins can hold hidden treasures. While millions were minted, only a microscopic percentage remain in flawless condition, and it is those rare survivors that fuel both collector interest and market value. Collectors share stories of discovery, passing down knowledge and excitement. One person might find a perfect coin in an old bankroll, another might inherit one without knowing its potential, and yet another discovers it in a forgotten container of coins. Each story adds to the legend of the coin also bridges generations. It connects collectors who grew up with these quarters in circulation to younger enthusiasts discovering their beauty for the first time. It embodies both nostalgia and aspiration, making it a coin that appeals to a wide range of collectors. The artistry of the Washington portrait and eagle design continues to inspire admiration. High-grade examples allow collectors to appreciate the fine craftsmanship, subtle details, and enduring elegance of a design that has remained iconic for decades, even though it appears simple at first glance. The 1983 quarter carries deep significance. Its rarity, preservation, and historical context make it a centerpiece for any collection, a coin that stands out in the crowded world of modern numismatics. Collectors value the unpredictability of finding such coins. The possibility that a seemingly ordinary coin could be a high-grade treasure keeps people searching, exploring, and sharing their passion for numismatics. The excitement of discovery is part of the enduring appeal of this coin. The 1983 quarter exemplifies the power of preservation and the importance of careful handling. Coins that survive decades without wear or damage are increasingly rare, and each one tells a story of endurance, history, and beauty. As the story of this coin unfolds, collectors are reminded of the value of patience, curiosity, and attention to detail. It is a coin that rewards careful observation and thoughtful appreciation. Even decades after it left the mint, the 1983 Washington quarter continues to inspire fascination, admiration, and competitive bidding. Its journey through time and its survival in perfect condition elevate it far beyond ordinary currency. And now, as we reach the conclusion of this story, the value of a flawless United States of America Washington quarter dollar from 1983 can reach an extraordinary $135,000 in words. And if you have any coins you want information about, make sure to comment below so the channel can help you. Remember to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and don't forget to like this video. Top 10. The story of the United States of America Washington quarter dollar from 1995 begins quietly, moving through pockets, cash registers, and coin jars across the nation. At first glance, it looks like any other quarter, yet hidden among the millions minted are exceptional examples that have captured the attention of collectors and enthusiasts alike, turning an ordinary coin into a treasure worth preserving and celebrating. Imagine a coin fresh from the mint, landing in the palm of someone unaware of its future significance. Perhaps it was handed to a child, placed in a jar, or carried in a wallet, blending into everyday life without fanfare. Yet decades later, that same coin, preserved in remarkable condition, can become a symbol of history, rarity, and beauty in the world of numismatics. On the obverse, the familiar portrait of George Washington gazes outward, embodying strength, dignity, and continuity. The artistry captures the texture of his hair, the curve of his collar, and the thoughtful expression on his face. In coins that have survived untouched, these details remain crisp and vivid, a testament to the minting quality of the era. The reverse features the iconic American eagle, wings spread wide, a symbol of freedom, power, and resilience. Each feather, talon, and curve is rendered with care, and in uncirculated examples, the details stand out as though freshly minted. The eagle's pose, strong and majestic, adds an aura of grandeur to a coin that otherwise seems simple at first glance. Millions of these quarters entered circulation in 1995, yet most show the marks of everyday use. Scratches, nicks, and contact with other coins have dulled many surfaces, leaving only a small fraction in flawless condition. It is this fraction that makes the coin so appealing to collectors. As pristine examples are increasingly rare and highly sought after, collectors understand that condition defines value. A coin from 1995 that retains its original luster, sharp details, and flawless surfaces is immediately recognized as extraordinary. Such coins are often discovered in rolls that were never opened, carefully stored collections, or forgotten savings jars, hidden away from the wear of decades. Imagine the moment of discovery. Perhaps a collector is sorting through old coins, or a long-lost jar of change is opened for the first time in years. The moment a pristine 1995 quarter is recognized, excitement fills the room. It is a coin that has survived time with elegance and offers a tangible connection to the past. The journey of this quarter through decades is remarkable. It may have passed through countless hands, traveled across the country, and yet avoided the scratches, dings, and where that affected so many other coins. That quiet resilience is part of what makes these coins so extraordinary and highly prized by collectors. Under magnification, experts examine every detail of the coin. Washington's profile, the eagle's wings, feathers, and talons are all scrutinized. Only coins that meet the highest standards are considered top-grade specimens, and it is these coins that dominate auctions and collector attention. Auction stories illustrate the excitement surrounding the 1995 quarter. When a flawless specimen appears, collectors from across the nation engage in intense bidding. The room fills with anticipation, and the coin is studied under bright light to ensure every detail is appreciated. The final sale reflects not only rarity but also the passion of collectors who understand its significance. Collectors value this quarter not only for its financial potential but for its connection to history. Holding a coin from 1995 is like holding a small piece of the decade, a tangible reminder of a period in American life, culture, and coinage that continues to resonate with collectors today. The beauty of the coin lies in its understated elegance. It does not rely on commemorative designs or special minting events to capture attention. Its appeal comes from its classic design, exceptional condition, and the sense of history embedded in its surfaces. Washington and the eagle have remained iconic symbols for decades, and this coin exemplifies that legacy. Collectors often describe the thrill of discovering a high-grade example as almost magical. The odds of survival in perfect condition are slim, and finding a coin that has avoided wear and circulation is a moment of triumph. Such coins are treasured, protected, and often become the centerpiece of a collection. Over the years, the supply of untouched 1995 quarters has diminished. Many were spent, lost, or mishandled, leaving only a microscopic percentage in flawless condition. Those remaining coins are highly prized and increasingly difficult to locate, adding to their mystique and market value. The story of this coin is also one of human connection. It has passed through countless hands, witnessed ordinary moments of life, and survived to be appreciated for both its aesthetic and historical value. Each surviving coin tells a story of endurance, careful preservation, and the passage of time. Collectors study every detail of the coin, from the sharpness of Washington's features to the clarity of the eagle's wings and talons. Even the smallest nuances, such as the lines in the feathers or the texture of Washington's hair, can dramatically affect the coin's grade and desirability. Auction experiences capture the excitement of this coin. When displayed under bright light, a flawless 1995 quarter draws admiration and anticipation. Collectors watch closely as bids climb, recognizing the rarity and the historical importance of owning such a coin. Even casual collectors are fascinated by the 1995 quarter. Searching through rolls or inherited collections for a high-grade example is a pursuit filled with anticipation, and the joy of discovery transcends monetary value, offering a connection to history and the thrill of finding something extraordinary. The coin serves as a reminder that even modern coins can hold hidden treasures. Millions were minted, yet only a tiny fraction remain uncirculated and flawless. Those rare survivors are coveted by collectors and celebrated as symbols of patience, preservation, and dedication to the hobby. Collectors share stories of discovery, passing along tips, excitement, and knowledge. Someone may find a pristine coin in a forgotten bankroll, another may inherit it without knowing its potential, and yet another might discover it among long-forgotten savings jars. Each story reinforces the allure of this remarkable coin. The 1995 quarter also bridges generations. It connects collectors who remember its release in circulation to younger enthusiasts discovering its beauty for the first time. It embodies both nostalgia and aspiration, making it appealing across age groups and experience levels. The artistry of Washington's portrait and the eagle design continues to resonate. High-grade examples allow collectors to appreciate the craftsmanship, subtle details, and enduring elegance of a design that has remained iconic throughout decades of American coinage. Though seemingly simple, the 1995 quarter carries deep significance. Its rarity, exceptional preservation, and historical context make it a centerpiece of any modern collection. Collectors understand that its value extends far beyond its original face value, collectors also cherish the unpredictability of finding a flawless specimen. The excitement of discovering a coin that is both common in production yet rare in condition keeps collectors searching and engaged, fueling the passion that makes numismatics such an enduring hobby. The 1995 quarter exemplifies the importance of careful preservation and attention to detail. Coins that survive decades without wear or damage are increasingly rare and become symbols of patience, luck, and historical awareness. This coin reminds collectors that even in the modern era, the thrill of discovery remains alive. Every pristine specimen carries not only value but a connection to the minting process, the era it was struck, and the hands it passed through before reaching a collector. Collectors appreciate the elegance and simplicity of this coin. Its classic design, historical significance, and scarcity in high-grade condition make it a standout among modern quarters, appealing to both seasoned collectors and those just beginning their numismatic journey, even decades after its minting. The 1995 Washington Quarter continues to inspire admiration, fascination, and competitive interest. Its journey through time, coupled with the survival of flawless examples, elevates it far beyond ordinary currency. And now, the value of a flawless United States of America Washington Quarter dollar from 1995 has reached an extraordinary $75,000 in words. And if you have any coins you want information about, make sure to comment below so the channel can help you. Remember to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and don't forget to like this video.